Hello, today is Friday, October 10th, 2025. I'm Julie Gardner from TC2, and this is Staying Connected. I'm excited for the opportunity to host our program today and to further our discussion on sustainability and enterprise network services. I'm joined today by Tony Mangino, our regular Staying Connected host and a director here at TC2, to get his perspective on how sustainability initiatives can impact the selection of strategic suppliers of IT services and ultimately drive competitive advantage.
Hey, Julie, thanks for having me today. This is an important conversation because wide area networks can be among the most energy intensive parts of enterprise IT. We tend to think of data centers as the power hogs, but carrier infrastructure, the routers, switches, optical transport, and even wireless towers all consume staggering amounts of energy. Green networking, carbon accounting, and energy efficient hardware are becoming important and quantifiable inputs for enterprises seeking to comply with ESG regulations and, as you rightly point out, to drive competitive advantage.
So, why exactly should WAN sustainability be on every CIO and procurement leader's radar?
Because the pressure is mounting from all sides, really. Governments are setting stricter reporting requirements, investors are asking for sustainability transparency, and customers increasingly care about whether a company is meeting its climate commitments. The wide area network is also uniquely challenging. Unlike a corporate office building where you can directly control HVAC and lighting efficiency, WAN energy usage is distributed across third party carrier networks. That means customers must push their strategic suppliers to document, improve, and report on sustainability metrics.
So, let's get practical. What strategies can enterprises adopt today to reduce WAN related environmental impacts?
Two common sense strategies that can be adopted immediately come to mind. First, require transparency and reporting from your strategic networking and IT suppliers. Enterprise customers can require their providers to provide to them carbon footprint data at both global and regional levels if that's not done so already. This should include energy usage per gigabit delivered, percentage of renewable energy powering network operations, and progress towards science based carbon reduction targets. Then you can look to favor suppliers with verified green credentials. You look for partners with green data center certifications like LEED or ISO 5001 or equivalents, commitments to 100% renewable energy, and verified carbon offset programs.
Tony, that's great at a high level, but let's go deeper into the procurement function. How does sourcing teams actually build sustainability into their RFPs for wide area network services?
Great question, Julie. This is where specific requirements, targeted inquiries, and a sustainability scorecard become essential. It's no longer enough to just ask, do you have a sustainability policy? Enterprises need structured, measurable requirements with defined scoring weight to enable meaningful vendor evaluation and differentiation. Important to mention here is this is really a cross-functional exercise, leveraging stakeholders from IT, compliance, and procurement to develop specific requirements that are customized to your enterprise. So here are a few categories and sample requirements that might be included in a WAN RFP scorecard. First has to do with energy and carbon metrics, mandate that suppliers report total network energy consumption, that's megawatt hours annually, and that they provide energy intensity figures, that's kilowatt hours per terabyte transport. You can evaluate supplier commitments to published carbon reduction targets and have them state percentages of renewable energy and network operations today and planned percentages in, say, 3 to 5 years. Next has to do with hardware and infrastructure efficiency. Suppliers should document the use of Energy Star rated or equivalent network equipment, provide lifecycle energy efficiency data for router switches and other types of CPE, and outline programs for reuse, recycling, and safe disposal of retired equipment. Next, on to certifications and compliance. Suppliers should indicate compliance with ISO 14001, which has to do with environmental management, and ISO 5001, which has more to do with energy management. Those are two very important compliance frameworks. In the alternative, suppliers should describe what systems they have in place that align with the principles of ISO 14001 or 5001, as they may choose to not pursue actual certification there. And finally, operations and reporting. Suppliers should report quarterly or annually on sustainability specific to the WAN services and report on their commitment to annual joint reviews with enterprises sustainability teams to document and report on carbon and energy consumption metrics that are specific to you and your business. Now, as I've mentioned before in a previous podcast, I think sustainability has a bit of a soft benefits problem in procurement. There's a long-standing issue in attempting to translate soft benefits into hard dollars, such as quantifying lost hours. And people roll their eyes at soft savings, and perhaps quite rightly so. And sustainability can get caught in that trap. The hypothetical translation of soft benefits into purportedly hard dollars when there really aren't dollars to be saved or budgets that will be reduced. However, by embedding these requirements into an RFP and assigning weight to those, whatever X% of the total evaluation score, procurement teams can begin to meaningfully include sustainability criteria in the supplier selection process.
Tony, I really like the emphasis on scorecards, but what happens after the RFP? How do enterprises hold suppliers accountable?
Too often, these sustainability and ESG clauses in contracts are kind of set it and forget it. Instead, procurement should establish an annual review cadence where strategic suppliers report progress against their commitments. For example, suppliers can present year over year reductions in carbon intensity per gigabit. Enterprises and providers can collaborate on a roadmap to align wide area network power usage with corporate energy consumption targets. And ultimately, targets achieved or commitments missed can and perhaps should influence renewal decisions with your strategic suppliers. Julie, it's really about creating a feedback loop where suppliers see sustainability as a business differentiator and not just a compliance burden.
This all ties back into corporate reporting, right? How do wide area network sustainability metrics feed into the broader ESG narrative?
That's exactly right, Julie. WAN energy use and the carbon footprint must be integrated into the enterprise's Scope 3 emissions reporting. That's the category covering emissions from suppliers and partners, often the biggest portion of a company's total footprint. Enterprises should collaborate across IT, procurement, and sustainability functions to capture WAN power usage and embed it into corporate dashboards and annual ESG disclosures. Done right, this creates not just compliance, but competitive advantage, demonstrating to investors and to customers that the company is tackling one of the hardest parts of IT sustainability.
Before we wrap, what future trends in sustainable networking should enterprises keep an eye on?
Well, there's a few. And first, I'll say I think AI driven traffic engineering is one, and that reduces redundant data flows and has the potential to slash energy usage. Next would be innovations in the optical transport space that consume less power per gigabit as backbone networks scale. Then there's the wider adoption of liquid cooling in network equipment, replacing inefficient air conditioning type cooling. And finally, we talk a lot here at TC2 about LEO satellite networks, and the expansion of those networks, if powered by renewables, could provide sustainable connectivity to underserved regions. And I'll leave you with this. I expect regulators in Europe, North America, and Asia Pacific to tighten their disclosure requirements. Enterprises that already have strong ESG aligned wide area network strategies will find themselves ahead of the curve there. Worth noting, my colleague from Deb Bowling from LB3 did a deep dive on the regulatory reckoning for ESG earlier this year that is a must listen.
Thanks very much for your time today. Tony, it was a great discussion. And if you would like to learn more about sustainability and ESG initiatives in the networking space, or if you'd like to discuss other ICT needs with Tony or me or any of our TC2 and LB3 colleagues, please give us a call or shoot us an email. You can also stay current by subscribing to Staying Connected, by checking out our websites, and by following us on LinkedIn.